in the league, tied for second place. Auburn looking to even up their overall record at 12-12. And we welcome you inside a near-capacity crowd in Auburn Arena alongside Dino Gaudio. I'm Rich Hollenberg. And Dino, a lot of us just watched Kentucky escape on the road with a victory over LSU. So that makes tonight's game for Arkansas maybe even more crucial because they have a chance to get a little separation from a very balanced league in the SEC.
Rich, I think Arkansas is the second best team in the SEC to the #1 team in the country and still undefeated, Kentucky. And a big reason for that, we all know about their press defense. Their half-court defense the last 5 games in the SEC has been superb.
Mike Anderson stressed that to us earlier today. Let's talk about tonight's game between Auburn and Arkansas. What stands out to you the most?
We have a duo and a trio. The duo, obviously, is Arkansas with Bobby Portis and Michael Qualls. Bobby Portis, the leading scorer in the SEC. Those two combined for 32 points a game. And Auburn, KT Harrell, the second leading scorer in this league. That threesome combines for 46 points.
And speaking of those players, let's take a look at tonight's lineups presented by Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry. We start off with the visiting Razorbacks. You heard all about Portis and Qualls. They're the dynamic duo. Rashad Madden, 16 points shy of 1,000 for his career. Freshman Anton Beard and Alandis Harris. The rest of what they call the fastest 40 in basketball. And for the homestanding Auburn Tigers, in addition to the big 3 that Dino referred to, there's also Taj Shamsuddin and Jordan Granger rounding out the first 5 for Bruce Pearl. Your officials tonight are Mike Nance, Jim Burr, Michael Stevens. This hasn't been that much of a series when you talk about overall streaks. As a matter of fact, Arkansas has dominated lately, Dino. They're a 7-game win streak against the Tigers. The last time Auburn beat an Arkansas team back in 2010.
Well, if Bruce is going to change that, Bruce Pearl, obviously, Rich, it starts with recruiting, and he's on the right track. We'll talk about that more.
There's Mike Anderson, got his team up to number 25 in the BPI, as well as number 24 in the national rankings. Joe Lunardi right now has them a 6th seed. Arkansas hasn't made the NCAA tournament since 2008. Arkansas wearing their road reds. It'll be Portis jumping it up against number 5 in white, Simeon Bowers. 2 young men who are all about double-doubles this year. Stolen away by Harris. And immediately, Arkansas gets on the board.
And Coach Pearl upset already with Taj Shamsuddin. That's his job, making sure no one gets that easy basket off the tip.
And it sets up the full-court pressure from the Arkansas Razorbacks. Handled by Shamsuddin. Here's KT Harrell.
Now, much has been said, Rich, of Arkansas's press. We know that. But it's been their half-court defense. They've held teams in the SEC the last 5 games, 55 points a game and 35% shooting from the field.
10 on the shot clock. First offensive possession for the Tigers. Here's Bowers going to work on Portis. And he's called for traveling. First turnover for the Auburn Tigers.
Now, Auburn defensively is last in the SEC in scoring defense and last in field goals. So if they're going to win tonight, it starts on the defensive end.
Here's the freshman Beard. Auburn's been very successful since Mike Anderson inserted number 31 in red into the starting rotation. Here's Michael Qualls. Portis' first shot of the game. Short, weak side rebound to Shamsuddin. Antoine Mason. Yes! First points of the game scored by Antoine Mason, who's averaging 23.5 in his last 2.
And I'll tell you, Rich, as of late, we know how aggressive he is. But as of late, he's been playing very well, shooting the ball well. And then, like Coach Pearl told us at the shoot-around, he's guarding on the defensive end also.
He said it's taken a while through some injuries, through some getting used to playing in a major conference, which he didn't while he was scoring in bunches at Niagara. But he said he is really bought in now on both ends of the floor. A near steal by Auburn. And Jim Burr says it's going to stay Arkansas basketball.
And one thing to watch for, Bobby Portis, 6'10", 6'11", guarded by Simeon Bowers. And Bowers, of course, just 6'6", 6'7". He's fronting the post, so the ball just doesn't go into Portis.
Qualls, catch and shoot. Yes. He's been struggling his last few games. That's a good sign for Razorbacks fans. Michael Qualls on the ball. Shamsuddin gets the bucket and goes down hard. He's injury prone with a couple of bad shoulders. He's going to have a chance at a three-point play.
You love when these little guys. Now, he initiated the contact, and he's strong enough and tough enough to try to make the conventional three-point play here. But, Rich, just so you know, his right shoulder is worse than his left shoulder. His right shoulder has popped out twice. Left one only once. So the left-handed shooter at the line for the conventional three-point play.
He knocks it down. It's a 6-5 Auburn lead. A minute and a half gone by. Qualls with Harrell on him. Jump stop. Off the window. 5 early points for Michael Qualls.
And the reason he wasn't shooting it well earlier, Rich, they were talking about the knee injury that he had. Well, at the shoot-around today, he was up in the air on jump shots and dunks.
And he's doing it on both ends of the floor. He got the offensive foul called on the other end.
Much more bounce out of Michael Qualls we're seeing tonight than we've seen in the latter few days. Explosive drive, the elevation. I think that knee's okay.
Looks like it. And then on the defensive end, Jordan Granger didn't see Qualls sneaking up behind him, and good job by the veteran Qualls getting the offensive foul. You know, on the offensive end, he's probably got the best jump stop in all of college basketball, and that's somewhat of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, because he can stop, Rich, and then elevate over guys. And you know, we saw right there on defense, good players have a good act. Now, there was a little bit act right there, but I really believe that good players have a good act.
Here's Beard, left-handed three, no good. Rashad Madden got underneath, tried for the offensive rebound, and was fouled.
Now, one of the challenges for Auburn, they have a -4 rebound differential on the season. They have to make sure that when the shot's in the air, they put a body on somebody, initiate the contact on box outs.
Harris for three, off to the left. Good battle underneath by Portis and Bowers. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Auburn basketball.
Boy, you called it. That's going to be a wonderful matchup, watching those two guys right there go at it on the interior.
First sub of the game, zeros. Malcolm Canada in, the backup point guard for Bruce Pearl. Here's KT Harrell shooting 50% from beyond the arc in SEC play.
One of the other factors in Arkansas's press is they don't necessarily need to steal the ball. They want to speed you up.
Mason off the mark on that three ball. Inside, Harris surrounded by white jerseys, and a foul on the floor.
In the reason Shamsuddin was on Harris, you know, Shamsuddin 5'9", Harris 6'6", it was in transition. In transition, you don't have a man. Just pick up the man that's in your area as you convert from offense to defense.
Madden triggers the inbounds to the freshman Beard. Coming up on 3 minutes gone by, we've got a tight one, 7-6 Arkansas. Qualls loves that spot, and he knocks his second three-pointer down of the night. Already 8 points for Michael Qualls.
So much for him lacking confidence coming into this game.
Nice floater by Shamsuddin, and he answers at the other end. He's got 5. Nice feed. Madden to Harris. Harris with 4, and it's a 12-8 Arkansas lead.
Boy, you hope that's not his shoulder again. They talk about Taj Shamsuddin, how tough he is, everybody. The trainer today, the weightlifting guy, how he's played through injuries to both shoulders like we talked about earlier.
Stop worrying about them, Ralph! Worry about the game! Come on,
Taj Shamsuddin, a 5'9", 175-pound sophomore out of Decatur, Georgia. And you see on both shoulders how he has them both wrapped.
Come on, Ralph! You're horrible, Jim!
And that's just a situation where
Yeah,
it looks like his hand got clipped on the Arkansas player's arm. And when you get a shoulder that pops out, Luckily, I've never experienced it. You've coached many, many years. I'm sure you've had players happen to them. Once it happens once, it becomes easier to happen over and over.
The reason, Rich, is the ligaments and the tendons get stretched a little bit, and hopefully he doesn't need surgery. I'm talking long term. I'm not talking about what just happened here, but they actually take the ligaments and fold them over and clamp them together to make it tighter. I mean, that's an innocent play. He's just reaching in. That shows you perhaps the earlier damage to his shoulder.
So number 12, Casey Ross Miller, a 6-foot grad student out of Grand Prairie, Texas, by way of New Mexico State, has checked in Shamsuddin's place.
Now the problem for Shamsuddin, that's his shooting hand, that's his left shoulder.
Jim Byrne, Mike Nance, still at the scorer's table, just checking to see, probably looking at the replay that we were looking at to see if maybe there was a foul on the play also.
Now we're going to show it again for the officials right here, but Taj Shamsuddin just reached in for the ball. He actually had his hand on the ball.
Yeah, looked like it was all ball.
Now, obviously he's gone for the game, so we're looking at Casey Ross Miller needing to come in, the senior, in handling the ball against a very strong Arkansas press. So the loss of Shamsuddin is huge for Auburn because they don't have much depth anyways, Rich. They don't have much of a bench to go to, but Ross Miller is going to come in and handle point guard duties for Bruce Pearl.
Auburn coming in, losers of 5 of their last 6, but they've been close. They've been by an average of 6.8 points a game. Conversely, Arkansas has won 5 of their last 6, and their last 2 wins, by 20 points apiece.
And a big reason for that, as we talked about, is their defense.
Here's Harrell. Wild shot by Mason, and Mason took it in the face. Portis inside the 3-point line. Battle for the ball. It'll be Auburn basketball. 16:07 to go.
So we've seen Portis take a couple jump shots. It's his second perimeter shot. I think he needs to post up more, and they have to try to locate him on the interior.
Canada lost it inside his own free throw line. It goes out of bounds, and that's the 3rd Auburn turnover.
Now, Rich, I think if you're Auburn, you have to decide whose pace of play does this favor right now. I think it's a really fast pace, which is advantageous for Arkansas. So, fellas, if you're Auburn and we don't have anything, then let's pull it out and try to run half-court offense.
There's Portis in the post.
There you go. Throw it to the big guy in the paint.
Averaging 19 points and 10 boards in SEC play. Harrell answers, and there's your top 2 scorers in the league,
Yeah, and you got to watch. He's talking to the Arkansas bench because that's just where he stuck that one in front of.
Portis working on Bowers again. This time he misses, and Bowers comes away with it. Going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to go on Beard. It's an Auburn 14-11 lead. When we come back, we'll hear about Kentucky's pursuit of perfection. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Cree LED Lighting.
You're not Mr. Craig.
Yeah, I'm confused. Where's Mr. Craig?
Well, I'm sort of Mr. Craig. We're both between 35 and 45 years old. We both like to save money on car insurance, and we're both really good at teaching people a lesson.
Okay, let's go.
Cool.
Sit down.
All right.
Sorta You isn't you. Only Esurance has coverage my way. It helps make sure you only pay for what's right for you, not someone sorta like you.
I think I blacked out from fear. Did we ask him where Mr. Craig was?
We did.
Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Does anybody know how I can get a small business loan fast? I'm a chef.
I'm a stylist.
I sell tires for your car.
I'm a doc in private practice.
That's my name above that bar.
Rapid Advance.
Help my business grow.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance.
I got approval in a day.
Rapid Advance. I got my money right away.
With Rapid, there's no hassles.
No credit checks galore.
You just need to be in business for a year or more.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com. Get up to $300,000 in just days. 877-GO-RAPID.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance. They help your business grow.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or rapidadvance.com.
Your money's here.
College Game Day, Saturday at 11 on ESPN.
Brendan Fitzgerald back in studio with an update from elsewhere in the SEC. Great game in Baton Rouge between Kentucky and LSU. Karl Anthony Towns gives the Wildcats a lead, and then in the final seconds, Keith Hornsby off the mark, and Kentucky survives, moves to 24-0.
Thanks, Fitz. Well, Kentucky basketball is off to a historic start, not just in this season, but maybe potentially, Dino, a season for all ages.
I really think so, Rich. And I told you before the game that LSU was going to give them trouble because of their two big guys. But I also said I think this team will go into the NCAA tournament undefeated. Now, Arkansas, who, remember, has beaten Kentucky the last 3 times they've played them. But that game, February 28th, is at Rupp. It's a tough out for the Razorbacks in Rupp.
Next up for Kentucky will be a Saturday contest against South Carolina. That game is also at Rupp Arena, a chance for them to go 25-0. Right now we're watching 24th ranked Arkansas with a 3-point lead on the road against Auburn. And I say on the road specifically as it relates to Arkansas, Dino, because that's been a narrative that's kind of followed this team around negatively the last few years. This year, however, 2-2 on the road in league play. That's not bad.
They are, and 2 of those wins over top 25 RPI teams at Georgia, at SMU. So that bodes well for the Razorbacks.
Here's Madden for 3. He's now 13 points away from 1,000 for his career.
And I love what Bruce Pearl's doing with his press offense, Rich. He's not bringing 4 and 5 guys into the backcourt. He's spreading the floor out, which when you press, your rotations are longer because of that.
Interesting to talk to both coaches about why they press. Arkansas presses for pace and to dictate. Auburn, Bruce Pearl says, we're trying to annoy you and frustrate you and slow you down a little bit.
And take time off of the shot clock. And they're retreating much quicker, Auburn is, after made field goals because they're fearful of Arkansas' speed and quickness going from the defensive end to the offensive end of the floor.
That last foul went on the starting guard.
That's a foul. Yeah,
Rashad Madden. Madden has 2. He's on the bench, and that foul is going to be on number 2, Alandis Harris. So quickly, Mike Anderson going to his reserves, but that's nothing new for Arkansas. They're going to play 10 guys every game, no matter the foul situation.
They really are. Ja'Cory Williams comes in, the left-hander from Birmingham, Central Park Christian High School.
They trap Casey Ross Miller. This is the half-court defense that Mike Anderson told us was so important. Canada, pretty move by Malcolm Canada.
Attacks like Antoine Mason does. So for Auburn now, you have 2 guys on the floor, Canada and Mason, that will attack the basket with the dribble.
Here's Athlon Bell, and his first shot of the game is good. Threes are falling tonight in Auburn. And speaking of 3, it'll be 3 free throws for number 1 in white, KT Harrell.
And when you have size like Canada does, 6'3", 225, he uses his strength and his first quickness, his first step, which is quick, to get to the rim. And there's Athlon Bell. Coming off a 12-point outing, Bell, against Mississippi State, Rich. He was 4 for 8 from 3, so coming into the game, scouting report, you have to chase him off the 3-point line.
You just have to wonder with an undermanned Auburn team against Arkansas. They're shooting 4 for 6 right now as Arkansas from 3-point range. In SEC play, they're only averaging 30% from the distance. So if they keep shooting like this, it's going to take a Herculean effort by Bruce Pearl's club to overcome that.
As we know, Arkansas leads this league in scoring at 79 points a game.
14th in the nation in that category. Harrell 1 for 2, but he has a third one coming. Now number 4 in red, Jabril Durham checks in, as does Moses Kingsley, the big man, 6'10", 230-pound sophomore out of Nigeria. Liberal substitution pattern for Mike Anderson's Arkansas Razorbacks. Harrell goes 2 for 3. He has an early 5, and it's a 2017 Arkansas lead. Catch and fire.
Wow.
2 for 2 for number 5, Anthlon Bell. And it's 5 for 7 from distance for the Razorbacks.
And Bell 6 for 10 in his last 3-point shooting attempts, going back to the Mississippi State game.
There's the youngster, number 4, 7-footer, Trayvon Reed in for Auburn. Canada, aggressive, blocked. Nice job by Ja'Cory Williams. Up ahead, here's Qualls. And Qualls got the foul and will go to the line. Great effort on the defensive end by Ja'Cory Williams leads to the offensive transition, and Michael Qualls at the other end.
Rich, 33, Moses Kingsley. I talked to Ron Crawford, who coaches the Arkansas Wings. When Moses Kingsley came to the States from Nigeria, on his passport, his real name was Kingsley Moses. But they changed, they saw the first name was actually his last name. And I talked to him at the shoot-around today. He goes, Coach, I just kept it that way. So Moses Kingsley, his real name is Kingsley Moses.
Qualls hits them both. Wednesday on ESPNU, the Wildcats look to avenge defeat when they face the high-scoring Mountaineers. Kansas State and number 21 West Virginia, Wednesday at 7 on ESPNU, the home court of college hoops. Largest lead of the game for Arkansas, ranked 24th coming in. 25-17, counting down to 13 minutes to go in the first half.
And I love what, like we said again, what Bruce Pearl's doing with his press offense. There's not a lot of guys in the backcourt, so Arkansas is having a tough time to rotate, trap, and recover.
That foul goes on number 33, Moses Kingsley.
Now you got to be careful throwing it to the corner because they'll trap you there.
Bruce Pearl getting a lot of mileage in the first half out of his reserve backcourt. Taj Shamsuddin, the starter, out with a shoulder injury. Blocked by Kingsley, saved by Bowers. Ross Miller, too strong. And Williams clears for the Hogs. Here's Bell. He's hit 2 for 2 from 3. Not that time. And the foul's going to go on Kingsley.
I think what Auburn's doing a good job of, Rich, is converting from offense to the defensive end of the floor. Their transition defense is very good. They just need to make sure and identify, scouting report, know your personnel, that Bell, the last few games, is shooting lights out from behind the three-point line. We have to chase him, number 5, off the line.
Well, we're not even halfway through the first half, Coach, and already Auburn is in the bonus. They'll shoot at least 1 free throw on every subsequent Arkansas foul. Right now, it's going to be Malcolm Canada at the line, shooting the front end of a 1-and-1. 70% free throw shooter on the year. And a lane violation is called on the Arkansas Razorbacks. So Canada will get another stab at it.
When you're playing a team that's, Arkansas 24th in the country, a little better than you have to stay in the center of the ring. You can't be on the ropes, and one of the ways you stay in the game is right here at the free throw line.
Gets you some easy looks at the basket, and maybe more importantly, it stops the clock.
And this is the one guy, Canada, one of two guys that can give them quality minutes and scoring off the bench, which is much needed for Auburn.
Canada makes them both. He has 4, and the lead is cut to 6. 2-possession ball game. Arkansas shooting better from beyond the arc than they are from inside it. Here's Williams, left hand. No, but it's tapped in by Kingsley. 5 reserves on the floor for Mike Anderson's club, and they still convert on the offensive end.
That's the one way Moses Kingsley can score. Tip backs and offensive rebound.
Number 20 in white, Alex Thompson on the floor for Bruce Pearl. He's seen his minutes really dwindle in SEC play. Bowers. And Simeon Bowers will go to the line and shoot 2 when we return. 11:35 to go. The 24th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks up on the road.
Great rates for great rides. Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. Most people have no idea that drug prices vary. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one.
I had no idea.
It's crazy. But here's how to fix that. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America. Best of all, it's free. By the way, GoodRx can save you money even if you have insurance. And it works for every member of your family, even pets.
Next. What can I do for you? Hi, here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx. Nice price. Thanks.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. With or without insurance, find the lowest price at a pharmacy near you. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
24th ranked Hogs lead Auburn on the road 27-19, part of Super Tuesday presented by Cree and Dino. A lot of teams press for a lot of different reasons. What are the keys to Arkansas's press?
Well, Rich, they constantly pressure all over the court. Great anticipation and quickness, and they have hard traps. Now, what we talked about, they trap you on all 3 parts of the floor. So here's the first third. 2 trappers. Now, watch how active these guys' hands are in the trap. Active hands, which leads to easy baskets. That's the first third of the court. Now the second third. As soon as you cross midcourt, you're not safe. We're going to see 2 hard trappers. We're going to look at 2 interceptors, and the far man has basket protection. Again, strong in the trap. They take away your near outlets. Again, jump ball, possession arrow, Arkansas. And then finally, the final third of the court. Wonderful anticipation by number 4, Jabril Durham. He reads it, active, quick, and I'm telling you something, Rich. These Arkansas guys, as quick of hands as I've seen anywhere. Wonderful anticipation, strong in the trap, quick hands. That's why they're so effective with their press.
Mike Anderson tells his players, I want max effort every time you're on the floor, especially on the defensive end, and tell me when you're tired. When you go out, you sit on the bench, you tell me when you're ready to come back in, I get you back in the game.
And that's the way it has to be when you extend and extend your defense 94 feet. Arkansas charged deflections. Number 31, Anton Beard, the last 2 games, 17 deflections, which is just outstanding.
Nice follow putback by Ja'Cory Williams. And they're starting to assert themselves on the boards.
They really are, and we're starting to see one of the weaknesses of a thin Auburn team, their front court and their front court depth.
Auburn out-rebounded by an average of 4 rebounds per game this season. Here's Bowers, pulls up.
And I think if you're Bruce Pearl, you're not upset with that shot. You know why, Rich? If he hits that, that draws Bobby Portis away from the basket.
And right now, Portis, the only starter for the Hogs on the floor, getting a lot of mileage out of the reserves. Casey Ross Miller, number 12 in white, and KT Harrell, the team's leading scorer, check back in for Bruce Pearl. Inside, Portis. This is a mismatch, and he takes advantage.
What Bruce has to decide, Bruce Pearl, with who he has in the game, should we double Bobby Portis on the interior? Now, one of the things Alex Thompson cannot allow is he can't allow Portis. Look how deep he is in the lane. 1 foot in the lane with the bounce. He gets 2 feet in there. You're better served fronting him. Just don't allow the ball to go directly into him. But Bruce Pearl has to decide, am I going to put a second body on Bobby Portis? In other words, do I need to trap him?
Harrell thought about it, went inside and had it taken away. Williams leads the break. And we've got a block charge on Auburn. That's going to go on Ross Miller.
Let's see what we got, Rich. I like the call.
Yeah,
I like the call. Michael Stevens with the call.
And Antoine Mason is not happy right now, having a little chat with Michael Stevens. Things might be getting a little chippy on the floor.
Looks like Antoine Mason is the peacekeeper out there right now. I would always tell our guys, Rich, if there's any kind of talk or scuffle on the floor, don't grab the other team. Grab our guys and pull them out of there. Because as soon as you go after one of their guys, even if you're putting your hands on them, don't touch another player. Grab our guy, get him out of the scuffle.
And now it's a free timeout for both coaches to talk to their troops as the officials check to see if it was indeed the correct call, block or charge. For whatever it's worth, which is not much, both of us seem to think that that looked like a good call by the initial call.
I don't think he was set, and I think he moved slightly from his left to his right to get in front of Williams there. But I think they're looking at the monitor to see the stuff that might have happened afterwards.
Well, Alex Thompson landed on top of Ja'Cory Williams, and then Williams might have pushed him off of him. A little extracurricular there at the end. That might be what they're looking at.
Yeah, they cannot review whether it's a block or the charge. We know that. So,
a couple of good assistant coaches we're looking at in the Arkansas huddle. There's Lee Mayberry off to the left in the black shirt. Melvin Watkins, the associate head coach, on the right.
I don't know what you're supposed to do, Rich. A guy falls on you. A guy falls on you. You got to push him off. What else are you going to do?
Would you call that a basketball play, though? And would they have to determine whether that or not that was a basketball play?
Well, it's after the play. The whistle blew for the charge. So if they wanted to charge a technical, it would be, in essence, a dead ball technical foul.
And there, yeah, it was much after. As we ran through that replay, you see, it wasn't an elbow. It was the push that was seconds after. So Mike Stevens and Mike Nance coming to take a look at what happened.
Can you see it, Mike?
After the play.
The officials are at our monitor looking at our screen right now. Here's a good look at it.
Yeah, they need to see the wider angle that we had, because it looked like it wasn't when the players fell on top of each other. It was about 5 to 10 seconds after the players fell on top, when they were walking away from the play. Here's another look at it.
We have Michael Stevens and Mike Nance watching.
They need to see it one more time just to confirm what they're both talking about. 10-12 to go. The move in question is number 22 in red. That's Ja'Cory Williams. He and Alex Thompson kind of trade elbows, and then Ja'Cory Williams throws the extra elbow.
There's no question. They bumped, and Ja'Cory Williams, 22, with his left arm, absolutely chucked him. Now the conversation is to what they saw. We can make that call, Rich.
I think we just did.
That would be, if they call it, it's not technically a flagrant one. It's a dead ball technical foul. That's the proper term for that.
So Auburn would get shots at the ball.
Let's see what they do, what they come out of this week.
Mike Nance, Jim Burr, Michael Stevens, a veteran officiating crew.
Well, you have Jim Burr. How about this? 16 Final Fours, 7 national championship games. Michael Stevens, 3 Final Fours, and Mike Nance has done numerous. This is Mike Nance right here talking to Bruce Pearl. And here comes Michael Stevens.
So we're getting the official word, confirmation on what has now taken a good 3 or 4 minutes to confirm. It wasn't the foul, it wasn't the play on the floor after the foul. It was the extracurricular, it was the extra elbow that that young man, Ja'Cory Williams, threw at number 20 in white, Alex Thompson.
Now here's what we have from Michael Stevens. It is a dead ball technical foul. So we're going to go ahead and shoot the free throws, and then we'll go ahead and shoot the technicals. Now we're going to see after Arkansas shoots these, we're going to go down here and
Williams misses the first. He's about a 50% free throw shooter.
We'll shoot the technicals, Rich, after this.
These 2 shots were for the actual first foul, the block charge, as Williams hits 1 of 2.
Now, these are the technicals for the dead ball technical foul. And it'll be Auburn basketball out.
Harrell, a 77% free throw shooter. One of the best pure shooters, not only in this conference, but in the country.
Already has his psychology degree. Spent a year at Virginia. He was one of Tony Bennett's recruits.
And you talk to Bruce Pearl, and anytime this first season comes up, one of the first things he mentions is wanting to get to the postseason for that young man, KT Harrell.
Well, what he's been through and how much he's invested, and he's been such a leader for this team. And Bruce Pearl said he's done a great job in terms of keeping this environment a stable one, especially in the locker room.
So after the dead ball technical and those free throws, it'll be Auburn basketball with 10-12 to go.
And what that is, Rich, it's a personal foul as well. The dead ball technical is a personal foul. Can't play with 6. Somebody got to sit down. I think it's good Mike Anderson took him out of the game.
Harrell off the curl. Second three-pointer of the night for the best three-point shooter in the SEC.
And he shoots so well off of the dribble handoff because he has the ability to shoot it from behind the screen.
20 straight games with a three-pointer for KT Harrell. Can you say momentum swing? And bodies fly again on Arkansas's end of the floor.
Now, what KT Harrell does so well, Rich, is he moves without the ball so well.
Foul ball number 12, Casey Ross Miller. That's his second personal foul.
Casey Ross Miller, who was on the business end of that.
Wow, looks like he was the recipient of that, but the foul is on K. Ross Miller. Casey Ross Miller, I should say.
Bruce Pearl is livid, getting his money's worth with Jim Burr standing in front of him. Nevertheless, it'll be Alandis Harris at the line shooting 1-1.
Harris already scored 1,000 points. He was a terrific player at Houston his first 2 years. His freshman year, he averages 9 points, 4 boards at Houston. His sophomore year, 13 and 6, and as a redshirt junior last year, 9 and 3. So this kid, 1,000-point scorer already at Houston and Arkansas.
And he's got 6 tonight. Again, it's a backup backcourt for Bruce Pearl. Canada and Casey Ross Miller coming off the bench to try to handle the Hogs' pressure. And Malcolm Canada does very well, thank you. It's for a three-point play.
It's amazing the diversity of Canada's game, because at times he'll play the power forward position. But right now, Bruce Pearl needs him at the 1, and he's delivering.
Had a career-high 15 in their big double overtime win to end non-conference play against the Xavier Musketeers here on their home floor.
One of the things he is, Rich, he is bigger and stronger than the Arkansas guards.
Canada has 7. That's already above his season average of 5.4 a game. 7-point lead for Arkansas. Going to Portis, and a foul is called again. And the officials are starting to tighten things up.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, well, we know that was going to happen, because now they're keeping it much tighter. Anything at all is going to be whistled as a foul. Now, you know who that's advantageous for? The Razorbacks. Why? A much deeper bench.
And yet there are 4 Arkansas Razorbacks who have already accumulated 2 fouls each. Portis at the line, 1-1.
Now, Rich, Bobby Portis, Moses Kinsley, and Manny Watkins were all part of the Arkansas Wings AAU team that won the 2012 AAU championship in Orlando. So these guys have been playing together for a long time.
Portis, 74% from the free throw line this season, makes them both. He has 6, and the lead is 9 with 9:18 to go. And Ja'Cory Williams, number 22 for Arkansas, re-enters the game to a chorus of boos from the Tiger faithful. Well, this has certainly not been the fastest 40 minutes in basketball, but Arkansas still with a 9-point lead.
Well, the tempo's been fast. The officials have been slow.
Nice look inside, Bowers. And Mason gets fouled and will go to the line. Pretty pass by the big man, Bowers.
Well, we're seeing the diversity of Bowers' game. We know he could step out. We know he could shoot the ball from the perimeter. And obviously, a double-double machine on the inside, but has great vision, and that's the first step to becoming a good passer.
Mason knocks that one home. He has 4 points. Antoine Mason spending his graduate year in Auburn after a very successful collegiate career at Niagara. He was the 2nd leading scorer in the nation at 25.6 points a game a year ago.
And Rich, if he'd have stayed at Niagara, us old guys know this, he would have surpassed Calvin Murphy, one of the great all-time scorers and all-time players in college basketball.
Bell fouled on the 3-point attempt.
When shooters are coming off screens, and we know this kid's a shooter, what he's done thus far, you have to be attached to him. Way too much separation for Canada defending him. It's almost like, Rich, when you were little, you played train. That's how close you got to be behind him, so that when he squares up, you're right there on the catch.
Bell First free throw attempt is good. He now has 7 points. His 2 field goals coming by way of 2 3-pointers.
Now, they ran the dribble handoff for the 3 to KT Harrell earlier. Now, he's not in there. Or there he is. He's got to go to dribble handoff.
Canada draws and dishes to Harrell. Calls his own number and knocks it down.
I couldn't get the words out, but I knew that's where you had to go, Rich.
That's 11 for Harrell. Offensive foul on Arkansas.
And one of the things with KT Harrell, wonderful step back, which creates the space. And we know an athlete, Quails, is guarding him. He still gets the separation. Qualls coming out. Big time shooter right there.
That time he goes inside and gets rejected by Portis. But it's picked off by Canada.
Yeah, I love that
Harrell
pass.
alone. The follow by Bowers doesn't go. Golden opportunity missed. Here's Qualls. Michael Qualls will go to the line and shoot. Michael Qualls trying to silence the crowd. His Hogs up 6.
Like a child, this Cree LED bulb could be in your house for decades. Unlike a child, it'll pay for itself and spend its life saving you money. And it will never pierce its tongue.
The Cree LED bulb.
Blue cheese, fancy. On fresh beef, fancier. With bacon, fancy-est. What? On brioche? More fancierest? Wendy's new bacon and blue on brioche. Just the right amount of fancy.
Mama.
Aisha, here, a coffee cake.
To my cousin, the last good man in America.
You go. You're out, buddy. Hey, you go.
Listen to me. Why are you swinging the bat like that?
He hit our son.
They're going to come after you. The brat deserved it.
They want to fight? They gotta fight.
The Slap, this Thursday, followed by The Blacklist, part of the all-new NBC Thursday.
We live in a pick-and-choose world. Choose, choose, choose. But at bedtime, why settle for this? Enter Sleep Number and the Ultimate Sleep Number event going on now. Sleep IQ technology tells you how well you slept and what adjustments you can make. You like the bed soft. He's more hardcore. So your sleep goes from good to great to wow. Now we can all choose amazing sleep, only at a Sleep Number store. Right now, save 50% on the Ultimate Limited Edition bed. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Alongside Dino Gaudio, I'm Rich Hollenberg. Arkansas 38-32 on the road against Auburn. Let's take a look at tonight's Wendy's Wooden Watch. And when you talk about SEC players representing the Wendy's mid-season award, or 25 players that were named, 3 of them coming from this conference, 3 big guys no less.
And we have that show tomorrow, Rich, the Wooden Watch. And we cut the list from 25 to 20, and I think these 3 absolutely have to be on there. And Bobby Portis, what he's done in this league, the leading scorer, averaging a double-double in SEC play. He has been sensational all season long. The big step that he's taken, the big jump, is the physicality of the game. He wasn't used to it last year as a freshman. He's stronger now. He's playing it to his length now, and you're seeing that in his advancement of his individual game.
And earlier tonight in that great game between LSU and Kentucky, that Kentucky escaped Baton Rouge with a victory. Willie Cauley-Stein had himself a very good night. 15 points on 7 for 9 shooting with 7 boards and 3 blocks. And Mickey certainly acquitted himself very well. 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks.
I think the other guy that is not on that watch list that should be is Carl Anthony Towns.
Tune into the Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy at noon. It's a Big Ten battle as freshman D'Angelo Russell leads the Buckeyes against Tom Izzo's balanced Spartan attack. Number 23, Ohio State and Michigan State, Saturday at noon on ESPN. Part of the Journey to the Tourney, presented by Sonic. D'Angelo Russell keeps getting praise after praise after praise. The nation's top scoring freshman has certainly not disappointed in Columbus.
He's been sensational, and how that Mata got him out of Louisville away from the Cardinals is a huge get for the Buckeyes.
Out of the timeout, Qualls misses the free throw. Only a 79% free throw shooter. Qualls had his best game of the season against Alabama. 30 points, 8 boards. And he is the Robin to Bobby Portis's Batman, if you will, on this Arkansas team.
He comes into the game tonight in his last 3 games, 1 for 10 from threes, but he's healthy, as we talked about, 2 for 2 from threes tonight.
They get the whistle on Ja'Cory Williams in the backcourt, and that's his second. 5 Razorbacks have 2 fouls. Mike Anderson trying to calm down his big man.
And I like this right here. When guys would come to the bench, big eyes, big ears, small mouth. Look at me, listen to what I'm saying, and I don't want to hear anything. And what I liked about Mike Anderson, when this kid walked over there, he didn't say a peep, he just listened.
When you talk about shooting as many free throws as we've seen already in the first half, advantage Arkansas because of their depth. How about advantage their ability to shoot free throws? They're a 72% free throw shooting team compared to a 65% free throw shooting team for Auburn.
And Rich, if you want to win on the road, that's one of the big things you need to do. When you get to the free throw line, knock them down. And they are.
Canada missed them both. Credit Auburn's defense. Arkansas has not had a field goal since the 10:44 mark. Their last 8 points have come from the free throw line. No sooner do I say that than Michael Qualls knocks down a pull-up jumper.
Alex Thompson talking about an athletic disadvantage. That's a tough cover for him, trying to guard Michael Qualls.
Already 13 points in the half for Michael Qualls. He leads all scorers.
Now, the last time KT Harrell came off that handoff, he shot the 3. Arkansas switched it this time.
Thompson nails the baseline 3 off the bullet pass from Bowers. Bowers tried to make the jump pass out of bounds, but it'll be Arkansas basketball.
Now, Rich, on the skip pass for the 3, because Thompson had given up the basket to Qualls, Bruce Pearl had sent a sub to the bench. He hit the 3, brought him back.
Foul's going to go on Mason. That's his second.
When you see the pick and roll, the 3rd defender has to come over and help on that roll. That's right there. That's Simeon Bowers' job, to slide over and take that roll away. Late getting there for Auburn defensively.
Ja'Cory Williams, 1 for 2 tonight. Make it 1 for 3 from the free throw line. A 6'8" junior out of Birmingham. Coming up next, we'll do New Mexico and Colorado State. That follows us. And then on Wednesday, a big Big 12 matchup between Kansas State and 21st ranked West Virginia. 1 for 2 from the line goes Williams. And the lead is 7 for the Hogs.
Kansas State goes into Morgantown. It's Marcus Foster, the leading scorer. He was suspended the prior 2 games. He needs to get on the same page with Bruce Weber.
Jump ball. It'll be possession arrow to the Auburn Tigers.
You go play Bob Huggins, West Virginia Mountaineers. You need as many guards walk off that bus as you can find.
They play a similar frenetic pressing style that Arkansas does.
It really is. It's difficult to run offense against West Virginia because they're just trapping you all over the floor.
Portis over to Madden. Nice feed from Portis, and Rashad Madden now has 5 points.
Now, Granger comes in for Thompson, but Pearl was going to do earlier in the game.
There's Mason, left side. Had it taken away, tip ball, Granger gets it. And a loose ball, and look out. Tempers are flaring.
It's just guys playing hard, getting on the floor. That's all that is.
Antoine Mason got up and he's grabbing his right elbow. It's going to be Arkansas basketball, and the boos are raining down in Auburn Arena.
I think that's just a hard play. Guys on the floor. There's nothing going on in the scrum when they were on the ground.
Counting down to 5.5 minutes to go in an extended first half, littered with fouls on both ends of the floor. 24th ranked Arkansas back in the national polls, looking for another road win in the SEC. It would be their third this season. Qualls. No shot. It's going to be an illegal screen, and it'll be Auburn basketball.
Rich, a lot of times if it's an illegal screen, sometimes it's the cutter's fault, and here's why. Make sure you set your guy up and let the screener establish position before you make your cut off the screen.
Here's Harrell, guarded by the bigger Qualls. That's a tough cover. And it's knocked out of bounds. Good hands by Manny Watkins, who's one of the team leaders in deflections.
And the reason he was able to deflect it because Arkansas switched the lower waist screen from block to block.
Thompson triggers the inbounds under their own basket. And he threw it away.
Second time in a row.
Williams. Can't get it to go. Thompson to Bowers. Look out. And Granger goes down and will go to the line. Check that. That's Lang, T.J. Lang, number 23 in white.
Rich, one of the things that the Auburn staff's going to talk about at halftime, their baseline out of bounds. You're trying to score on the baseline, but the last two possessions, baseline out of bounds for Auburn, have been runouts for Arkansas.
T.J. Lang has his first point of the night.
Now, this young guy originally committed and signed actually with Virginia Tech, and then with the coaching change, he was released from his letter of intent and was able to come to Auburn with Bruce Pearl.
2 for 2 for Lang. Cuts the lead to 7 for Arkansas. 4:45 to go. We've seen 27 total fouls in this first half.
On the shot clock for the Razorbacks.
Madden calls his own number and lets the crowd know about it. That's 8 points for Rashad Madden. He's 8 away for 1,000 in his career.
He led this team in scoring last year. More of a glue guy this year, as Portis has really stepped up, and Michael Qualls as well.
Madden doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but when he does, he shoots them well, 41% from beyond the arc. And Keaton Miles called for the foul on KT Harrell, and Harrell will go to the line when we come back.
Well, Rashad Madden, wonderful elevation on the jump shot. He's becoming that third scorer for the Razorbacks.
10-point lead for the 24th ranked Hogs on the road. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200, ready to take on the world.
For fans of a soft touch. For fans of a smooth stroke. For fans of love, this is your game. Heat Cavs at 8, Rockets Clippers at 10:30, tomorrow on ESPN.
Because every moment matters, so does your network. Verizon. This Valentine's Day, get $100 off a Swarovski crystal battery cover or the Samsung Gear S. Perfect with a new Samsung Galaxy Note 4 for 0 down with Edge. Plus, get a $100 bill credit for each smartphone you switch. Get our best deals for the ones you love this Valentine's Day. Verizon.
I need fans put up. I need lights put up. Who's going to do that?
Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your home project with top local service professionals.
We got everything from Home Advisor. Electricians, plumbers, handymen.
You get to read the customer reviews of all of your neighbors.
And you know that the companies that are on there have already been screened, and so you already have that confidence going in.
And Home Advisor is always free. Go to HomeAdvisor.com now.
Home Advisor.
Brendan Fitzgerald back in studio. Coming up on the ESPNU Halftime Report, Adrian Branch joins me. We break down the first half between Arkansas and Auburn, plus Kentucky LSU down to the wire, and we'll have the full treatment, highlights, and post-game reaction from the still undefeated Wildcats. Also, other top 25 teams in action. We'll get you caught up there as well, guys.
Thank you very much. Arkansas leads Auburn 47-37. How about this? Fouls this half combined 28. Field goals made only 25, and free throws made only 23. If you're a coach in this situation, what are you telling your team in each respective huddle?
You're telling your guys that you got to adjust your game to the way it's being called. Now, we know the officials, after a couple skirmishes, are going to call it much tighter. The other thing, from a strategical standpoint, Rich, I'm telling my guys, drive the ball to the basket. Let's put foul pressure on them because they're calling them. Let's get to the free throw line, and fellas, let's knock them down when we're there.
Harrell hits the first one. He has 13 to lead the Tigers, and yet you say that, and if Bruce Pearl is telling his club that, I'm scratching my head right now because Antoine Mason and Simeon Bowers, the two guys that would take the ball to the hole with aggression, are sitting on the bench right now.
Well, Ross Miller has to do it. Harrell, we know he's a three-point shooter, but he has the ability to shot take, get a mid-range game, or take it to the basket as well.
Williams, ill-advised. Rebound to the 7-footer Reed. Ross Miller inside. Lang can't finish.
Well, you got to play stronger than that. Play off 2 feet on the inside.
Madden for 3. Short. Miller didn't have the numbers. He wisely pulled it back out.
One thing Bruce Pearl's kids do, and the kids at Auburn, they play really hard, Rich, and that's just a must for him if you're going to play for Pearl at Auburn.
Ross Miller, the step back. That was Harrell. He missed it. Look at that pass. And the finish by Williams. What an assist by the second leading assist man in the SEC, Rashad Madden. Now 49 points for Arkansas. That's the most points in the first half they've scored all season. You have to wonder what Trayvon Reed is thinking.
Really ill-advised. And one of the reasons that Arkansas is being so disrupted with their defense, they're switching all screens. You said it, Rich. A wonderful delivery. And one of the things the big guy Reed has to do, he has to make sure when he's converting from offense to defense, he sees the basketball. Never saw the ball at all in that possession.
Auburn's missed 8 of their last 9 field goal attempts. Here's Bowers. Powers his way inside, and Simeon Bowers will go to the line.
And I like the call. You have to go inside to this guy. He's a double-double machine. Let's get him the ball in the box, especially with the big fella Portis not in.
Held to just 1 point tonight. Simeon Bowers averaging 13.5 points and 11 rebounds a game. This Saturday, join the College Game Day crew on the road in Dallas, where Kevin Ollie's defending champion UConn Huskies take on Larry Brown's 25th ranked SMU Mustangs. If it happens in college basketball, it's on Game Day, Saturday at 10 a.m. on ESPNU.
And Rich, I also think the pace of the game is another reason why Simeon Bowers has been negated so much, because it's up and down, and he's not getting enough looks in the half court.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in an extended first half of play. Dominated by fouls, but Manny Watkins sneaks through for his first 2 of the game.
What a great read by Manny Watkins. The defense was chasing him, so he curled.
Ball goes off the hands and out of bounds. It's another Auburn turnover, and it'll be Arkansas basketball.
Watch Manny Watkins. His defender was chasing him, and that's the exact right play to make. Keep curling into the lane, and the curl took him right into the shot, as did the pass, Rich. A wonderful delivery.
A definitive look at motion offense executed well.
Very well, very well. You figure you'd see that from a coach's son.
There's Qualls from deep, around, and finally it drops down. A stranger three-pointer you will not see. The third three-pointer of the night for Qualls, who now has 16.
It's amazing. This kid came in thinking he was going to play at 80%, but you saw him at the shoot-around today. Bouncing his step, wonderful elevation on the shot. Boy, is he playing with confidence.
Harlem Globetrotters couldn't do it better than that.
His confidence is really at a high level. When you think coming into the game, his last 3, 1 for 10 from threes.
Qualls goes to the bench. And Ross Miller goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He has 4, and the lead is 12 for Arkansas with the basketball. Nice feed again, and Keaton Miles finishes with a slam.
Arkansas had 5 guys beyond the three-point line. That's what creates an avenue for a backdoor cut. Watch how spread Arkansas is offensively. No one's in the lane. That's why you get the backdoor cut. And 12, Casey Ross Miller, that's his help side. He should have been in the restricted area arc to take away that cut. I'll tell you, Rich, you see teams play and you hear coaches talk a lot about playing hard on the defensive end, playing hard on the backboard. Arkansas cuts hard and plays hard on offense. That's why they're the leading scoring team in the SEC.
One minute to go in the half. 56 points for Arkansas, the most they've scored in a half all season. 14th best scoring team in the nation. That's saying something. Williams, pull up. About a 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Ross Miller on the hesitation. Here's Harrell from the wing. 17 for KT Harrell. And Arkansas calls a timeout. Where would the Auburn Tigers be without KT Harrell?
And I love how he creates space for the passer. As the penetration occurs, he drifts towards the corner. And because Bell's helping, wonderful pass, wonderful shot. See, Rich, him moving from the top of the key to the wing, that's what makes him visible for the dribbler to find him on the drift pass. They call that pass along the baseline.
So 27.6 to go. Auburn with its full complement of timeouts find themselves in a manageable position despite the ups and downs of this first half, and the relatively poor play by the Auburn Tigers. They're only down by 9.
And it's amazing. I'm at the shoot-around today, and I'm talking to Coach Pearl, and he didn't say this. I did. I go, Bruce, I'm not sure how you won 11 games that you did with the roster that he has. He has 7 guys that he's playing, and his starting point guard gets hurt, and here they are, down 9.
Well, both of us were treated to a Bruce Pearl tirade at shoot-around earlier today. He let loose on his team. He said he's only done that once before this season. It was before a South Carolina game, and oh, by the way, they won that game by 3.
They were a little too comfortable in the shoot-around, being casual, and you know what? That's what coaching is. Coaching is confrontation and challenging guys, and man, he did that at the shoot-around today. You can't play comfortable and be successful in this game,
especially against Arkansas. Shot clock is off.
Little delay game. They're bringing the bottom of the stack to the top.
See if they look for Portis. They do. Portis sneaks in and will go to the line. 6.7 to go in the half. Foul's going to go on number 20 in white, Alex Thompson, his first. Bobby Portis will go to the line. He has 6 points tonight.
I'm really impressed with Bobby Portis' strength from last year, seeing him to this year. He's much stronger. He plays the game lower. When you're tall and thin, you have to make sure you play the game low, and he's really learning that aspect of the game.
He now has 7 points. Antoine Mason checks in. Another offensive option for Bruce Pearl in what should be the last shot of the first half. One thing I'll tell you about Bobby Portis, he's a birthday boy. He turned 20 years old today, and I gave him a birthday handshake, and his hand basically swallowed my entire forearm.
He buried your hand.
He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line tonight. And it's back up to a double-digit lead for the Razorbacks.
And that's the other thing. When you can throw the ball to him inside, he gets fouled. He comes in SEC shooting 80% in SEC games from the free throw line.
Here's Ross Miller, 5 seconds to go. Calls his own number. And KC Ross Miller, immediately after he shot it, was arguing with the refs to no avail. Arkansas with an 11-point lead on the road at the half. Let's go to the studio for the ESPNU halftime report with Brendan Fitzgerald and Adrian Branch.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. 58-47, Arkansas looking for the road win at Auburn. And more than an hour later and 32 fouls later, we say hello on the ESPNU halftime report. Adrian Branch, I'm Brendan Fitzgerald. What did you see?
Well, a lot of fouling in the first half, so it wasn't a good rhythm. But also, if you're looking at Auburn, that struggles for offense at times, KT Harrell's already at his average. 17 points, the second leading scorer, right behind Bobby Portis. Both teams are getting what they want right now. Arkansas has been allowing a lot of points, but it hadn't been a rhythm. Let's see if it opens up in the second half, because there's been a lot of hacking out there.
Both
Not
teams
fouling, they've been
well
hacking.
ahead of their scoring average so far. Arkansas had only been allowing 55 points total in their last 5 games. Let's go elsewhere in the SEC. Kentucky taking on LSU down in Baton Rouge. Kentucky, of course, continuing the quest for perfection, and Les Miles on hand. You got to bring out the big guns.
Oh, good weekend to be recruiting.
On the other side, Anthony Davis back to watch his Wildcats.
On the road. Let's take a look at tonight's game track. Brought to you by Taco Bell. Alongside Dino Gaudio, I'm Rich Hollenberg, and we talk about shooting the lights out. It was a very choppy first half with a lot of fouls, Dino. But as we mentioned, those numbers don't lie. This is the best offensive half statistically that Arkansas has played all season.
We talked about it prior to the game. I thought Arkansas is the second best team in the SEC. They're playing like it tonight. The problem is, and we talked about this, Rich, Arkansas has so many more better players right now than Auburn does.
Well, we talked about at the top of the show also was the big 2 for Arkansas against the big 3 for Auburn. How's that worked out?
Well, it's worked out where Portis and Quails have a combined 24, but when you look at the trio with 24, KT Harrell has 17 of those. Antoine Mason is just 1 for 4, 5 points. Bowers is 0 for 3 from the field. But those 2 guys, Mason and Bowers, must step up if Auburn's going to get back into this thing.
58 points, the high for any half this season for the 14th best scoring team in the country, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Casey Ross Miller, a good start for the Tigers in the second half. He has 8.
And I love the shot fake.
Alandis Harris came up short on the other end. Here's Harrell. The lead for Canada, no good.
And if you're Bruce Pearl, all you ask your guys do to play hard with energy and effort, and that's what they're doing. They're outmanned. It's like men playing against young men right now.
Bruce told us earlier today, physically, he knows his team has athletes. They can score. They can do some things. They have to be in it mentally for 40 minutes as well. Mason, that one looked good off his hand. There's Qualls for Arkansas.
What Auburn needs to do defensively is sustain the effort the entire shot clock, Rich.
Portis knocks down his first shot of the second half. In double digits with 10 is Bobby Portis.
What a great look-off pass from Casey Ross Miller. Just a wonderful look-off, which lifted the defense out to the perimeter.
First field goal of the game for Simeon Bowers. Madden for 3. Too strong. And they're going to get Beard on the foul.
That's his third personal foul. First team foul of the second half.
What a great look-off pass, and that's what made Portis slide out to the perimeter. Talk about those quarterbacks in football looking off those safeties. That's exactly what he did.
Here's Harrell. Tried to draw the contact on the 3, and instead we have a foul underneath the basket.
And Rich, for the first time in the game, the prior possession for Arkansas, when the ball went into Bobby Portis, Auburn doubled him in the post.
We haven't seen Taj Shamsuddin, the starting point guard for the Auburn Tigers, since he injured his shoulder early in the game, and now backup point guard Malcolm Canada has 3 fouls. Saw Portis there with another easy 2. Zip pass inside. Harrell to Bowers.
You like it. Auburn came out of the locker room with energy and emotion, just like you knew they would.
And Beard muscles it up again. First 2 of the game for Anton Beard. Ross Miller found a seam and goes off the window. He's in double digits with 10. Only problem for Auburn, they can't afford to trade baskets. Qualls in and out. Still just a 9-point advantage for the 24th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks. Mason lost it. Qualls came away with it. And they get the foul on Mason.
You have to make sure that when you do that dribble handoff that you come off of there hard, or else they'll trap you right there. You see Bowers fronting Portis. Canada has to get better help side defense. And then nice find in the delivery. And I love how Bowers uses the rim to protect the shot.
Portis again had it stuck between the rim and the backboard. And that's going to be a possession arrow, and it stays with Arkansas.
See, Rich, what Bowers is doing, and he did it on the prior possession, he's 3/4 and at times fronting the post. So the help side defender has to be there, that when Portis catches the ball, they're sandwiching him on the catch.
Now the 7-footer guarding the inbounds pass, Trayvon Reed. Inside of Portis, nice feed from Madden.
And so much of defense is communication. Auburn just didn't talk the switch.
6 of the 8 points scored by Arkansas in this second half have been scored by their best player, Bobby Portis. Ross Miller wanted a foul, didn't get it. There's Mason to the hole. In and out. Qualls on the break. Pulls up. And Reed clears off the miss. Mason quick to the hole, and he's blocked by Harris. He had Harrell on the wing for 3.
He did. He just has to see things through a wider lens. Sometimes he just sees
the basket.
And yet, you talk to the coaching staff, Bruce Pearl in particular, and he says the reason Antoine Mason has played so well the last couple of games is because he's been more aggressive taking the ball to the hole.
But, Rich, when you look at his numbers, he's averaging less than 1.2 assists per game. So you know that when you're guarding him, he's going to shoot the basketball. So, once again, see things through a wider lens. See the whole court, not just the basket.
Harrell spins right into Alandis Harris and got the foul.
I think if I'm playing against Arkansas, that I want to attack their extended defense, but if it's not there, I think you need to pull it out and run some clock. I think the pace is incredibly fast for Auburn right now, especially when you have a short bench.
Harrell now with 18. His career high is 29. He scored 20 points a game in 11 different games this season already, well on his way to his 12th 20-point effort this year.
We finished the Arkansas shoot-around, and he walks on the court at 1:15, getting shots up when the Auburn shoot-around is at 3.
Portis. The three's not dropping in this half so far for Arkansas.
And you see Mike shake his head a little bit, Mike Anderson, not crazy about the shot.
Mason went down, no whistle blown.
That should have been a walk. I don't know how you could turn
Qualls,
over.
look out! And the feed from Qualls to Portis. Bobby Portis has 8 points in the half, and Arkansas has answered with a counterpunch of their own.
You see Arkansas switching all those screens. And what that does, Rich, is there might be a mismatch, but you have a guy on a guy, and those guys are quick enough, the big guys, to keep those guards in front of them.
Antoine Mason and his head coach Bruce Pearl are both livid. Arkansas is up 68-57 on the road in the SEC.
College Game Day, Saturday at 11 on ESPN.
GCU offers more than 160 innovative programs across 8 colleges, which now include cutting-edge next-generation programs in engineering, computer science, and information technology. Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. Most people have no idea that drug prices vary. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one.
I had no idea.
It's crazy. But here's how to fix that. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America. Best of all, it's free. By the way, GoodRx can save you money even if you have insurance. And it works for every member of your family, even pets.
Next. What can I do for you? Hi, here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx. Nice price. Thanks.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. With or without insurance, find the lowest price at a pharmacy near you. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
Byron Cowart will be committing to Auburn University.
Cause for celebration in Auburn when the #1 overall prep player in the country, Byron Cowart, decided he's going to be playing for Auburn University come next year. His hometown, Sefner, Florida, plays for Armwood High School, and we're pleased to be joined by the man who will be coaching that young man for the next couple of years, Gus Malzahn, head football coach for the Auburn Tigers. Great to have you here at the court, and it begs the question, we've talked to Bruce Pearl a lot about this. He said you and he have developed a very quick and fast friendship. How did that happen?
Yeah, I tell you what, first of all, he's a great guy. He's been great for Auburn. He's building this thing the right way, and he'll get this thing going.
When you talk about getting the recruits that you got this year, you have the 7th ranked overall class led by Cowart. How stressful is it for you leading up to those days when you don't know for sure who's in and who's not?
Well, it's a little stressful, but it's a good stress. I mean, you know, we got a great coaching staff, and they finished very good on signing day. We got some very good players, you know, for the future.
Guys, basketball has 2 signing periods, one in November and then one again in April. How would you feel if football had that, maybe to take some of the pressure off of that February date?
You know, I like the way it is. I mean, just one signing day. You know, if you had 2 in football, it's crazy enough on one. So I'm all for the one signing day.
And how about recruiting and helping each other? I know when I was at Wake Forest with Jim Groh, we had a great working relationship. And Bruce mentioned the story that when he had the show clause, at times you were happy to speak to his recruits.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, we were glad to help our football staff. We kind of worked very closely with the basketball staff. They helped us too. And, you know, we're an Auburn family, and Bruce fits in great here.
What's the biggest selling point, 2 or 3, to get a young man to come to Auburn?
Well, Auburn's a great place. We got unbelievable fans with great passion. You know, we've got some of the best facilities in the country, and you can win championships here.
You have, obviously.
Well, Coach, we'll let you enjoy the rest of the second half. Maybe push for a little comeback for the Auburn Tigers here.
Yeah, I think we're fixing to make a comeback here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Gus Malzahn, head football coach for the Auburn Tigers, rooting on his friend and fellow coach, Bruce Pearl. And just like Gus said, there's no quit in these Auburn Tigers, and the fans are still into it as well. The team down just 9, 14:40 to go. But Michael Qualls quiets the crowd. Qualls his first 2 of the second half, and he has a chance at a 3-point play.
And you know, Rich, you're seeing his maturity. Not many guys could take on that contact and finish it. He does a great job of absorbing the contact, playing through it.
Completes the 3-point play. He now has 19 to lead the Arkansas Razorbacks. Every time you sense a little bit of a run coming from Auburn, Arkansas seems to have an answer.
I just love this Arkansas team. Before, there were concerns about their half-court defense. Not anymore. I think they're doing a wonderful job in the half-court.
Casey Ross Miller has a dozen. It's a 10-point game. Arkansas a chance to get their 8th win in conference and move into sole possession of second place. And Bobby Portis with the offensive rebound and the putback. 41% of Portis's rebounds come on the offensive end.
And you're seeing Trayvon Reed at 7'2" and 225 pounds. Some of the things he can't do have to do with stress, or strength, I should say, and that takes time, getting bigger and stronger.
Timeout call from Auburn, feeling the pressure of the fastest 40 minutes in basketball. Portis with 18, Qualls with 19, Arkansas up 12.
That's your new boss?
Yeah.
Well, your boss loves the beach.
Really?
She's been to London, Paris, and her son plays baseball.
You psychic?
No, I speak Pandora. He went to Jared.
Celebrate life's unforgettable moments with a fabulous selection of Pandora jewelry, including these styles exclusively at Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, telling her life story with just a turn of the wrist.
You're good.
I know.
That's why he went to Jared.
Does anybody know how I can get a small business loan fast?
I'm a chef.
I'm a stylist.
I sell tires for your car.
I'm a doc in private practice.
That's my name above that bar. Rapid Advance. Help my business grow. Rapid Advance.
They didn't say no.
Rapid Advance.
I got approval in a day.
Rapid Advance. I got my money right away. With Rapid, there's no hassles. No credit checks galore.
You just need to be in business for a year or more.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com. Get up to $300,000 in just days. 877-GO-RAPID.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance. They help your business grow.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or rapidadvance.com.
Your money's here.
Rich Hollenberg, Dino Gaudio from Auburn Arena. One of the perks of being here on the Plains is you get to talk to a national championship head football coach. Great for Gus Malzahn to join us moments ago during the game. And when you talk about recruiting and Auburn and the SEC, usually always think about football. And yes, the Tigers have the 7th best recruiting class in football. But how about Auburn and basketball now that Bruce Pearl's in the fold?
Well, you knew it was going to happen because he is a wonderful recruiter. And it's amazing, Rich, how quickly he got things developed when he had that show clause. And he told us the story that when Simeon Bowers came to Auburn, he couldn't meet with him. Gus Malzahn met with him and talked to him about it. But Horace Spencer, the kid from Findlay Prep, 6'8", brings size to the front line. Purifour they're talking about him being, Bruce said today, he was like a Daniel House type of guard, a big-time scorer. He could be a pro. So a great recruiting class. Analytics are great, but I'll tell you what, in the SEC, it's all about an accumulation of talent. This guy right here is starting to do that at Auburn.
And what a league this is going to be next year and for the next few years to come with all of those schools that you just saw. Not just Kentucky anymore. LSU, Texas A&M, South Carolina, and yes, these Auburn Tigers all putting together premier recruiting classes coming in. 5 on the shot clock. Qualls got his hands on it and picked it off. Here's the lead for Harris. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Arkansas basketball.
And Rich, when you look at where Auburn's turnovers are coming, they're not coming in the backcourt against the press. They're coming in the front court in their half-court offense.
I don't foul on Lang.
It looked like it was all ball to me, and it's almost like he literally threw the ball out of bounds himself.
The pileup of bodies led to the whistle being called.
The problem is the students are behind us. They're seeing the monitor as well and voicing their displeasure.
Alandis Harris made the first. He's a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He has 7 tonight.
Working in the crowd here.
Portis and Qualls leading the way. 18 for Bobby, 19 for Qualls, but a lot of contributions all up and down this Arkansas Razorbacks roster. 14-point lead equals their largest of the game. Was that between the legs? And Granger couldn't finish.
Well, like I said, you get the ball right at the basket, point blank. That's why Auburn struggles, because those guys aren't just ready to step up in SEC play yet.
They've missed a handful of chippies like that. Edlon Bell nails his 3rd three-pointer of the night.
And I think Casey Ross Miller has come in and given him quality minutes when Sham Sadine went out with the shoulder injury.
It's an offensive foul. We're going the other way. Bruce was clapping his hands. Bruce Pearl thought the call was going against Arkansas, and now he shakes his head in disbelief.
I don't know if he thought it was. He was trying to sell the call, no question.
Listen, your team's down 16 against the 24th ranked team in the country. You'll try any trick in the book. Bruce certainly has had success everywhere he's gone, whether it's at Milwaukee or at Tennessee with the 3 Sweet 16s and an Elite 8 appearance. And it'll be sooner than later when he turns things around here.
And he'll have success here.
Bell, catch, fire. No good this time. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Auburn basketball. Alex Thompson will inbound.
And like we talked about, Rich, not many turnovers for Auburn coming in the backcourt. Most of them are in the front court once they get in their half-court offense.
Here's Lang, knocks down the 3.
Auburn has had good looks in the half-court when they haven't turned it over. They just got to make shots like they did right there.
If Auburn can hold on here and get a road win, it would be their 3rd road win in the SEC. Silence a lot of critics who said they can only win in Bud Walton Arena. And more importantly, it will give them 8 wins in conference, and they'll be all alone in 2nd place in a very deep and balanced league. 11:43 to go. TJ Lang knocks down a three to keep Auburn within striking distance.
Great kick out from Bowers. The catch, feet are set, the follow through, and bang, much needed three.
Attention everyone, 5-Hour Energy's taste is new and improved. That's right, 5-Hour Energy shots now taste great and come in 10 exciting flavors. A lot of brands think you can't handle straightforward information like this. But to make an informed decision, we know you want facts, not some cheap joke. New improved taste, 10 great flavors. Have you tried 5-Hour Energy lately?
For fans of a soft touch. For fans of a smooth stroke. For fans of a gentle kiss.
Come on, baby.
For fans of love, this is your game. Heat Cavs at 8, Rockets Clippers at 10:30. Presented by State Farm. Tomorrow on ESPN.
It all starts with a sound. The sound of a 1,000-pound paycheck on the line. But every tuna fisherman will tell you that catches are won or lost in the seconds it takes you to get your hands on the reel. Wicked Tuna. The new season lands Sunday at 9 on the National Geographic Channel, Channel 276. While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield of rain, sleet, and snow without streaking, giving you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X Premium Wiper Blades. Available at these fine retailers.
Brandon Fitzgerald back in studio coming up in about 15 minutes. Colorado State hosting New Mexico. The Pit, known as a tough place to play in Albuquerque. Moby Arena, no easy place to get a win, too. 12-1 are the Rams at home, guys.
Thank you very much. Back here in Auburn, the Tigers trailing the 24th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks 78-64. We're seeing the Arkansas high-scoring offense on full display.
We really are. And I'll tell you what, Rich, if they keep guarding the way they have coming into the game, I think this team, when they get in the tournament, can be a Sweet 16 basketball team because they defend now. They score the ball at a high rate. Multiple guys can score it for them. A deep bench. Like I said pregame, I really like this team.
Yeah, matchup nightmare. I mean, there are a lot of teams who press from time to time, but you can probably count on maybe one hand teams that press all game long and do it really well. Louisville comes to mind. Arkansas, certainly one of them. West Virginia. But if you're not used to facing that, it's a matchup nightmare.
It really is. And the most important part, Rich, is they become a better half-court defensive team.
That was one thing that Mike Anderson kept reiterating to us over and over, how important half-court defense is. That surprises some people when they look at Arkansas and think up and down the floor, up and down the floor. Why does he stress half-court D?
Well, here's the big thing. When you're pressing and extending, you don't get to spend as much time on your half-court defense. And you look at a Virginia team like Tony Bennett has, his entire practice time on defense is in the half-court. Arkansas's multiple defenses, so some of it is pressing, some of it is zone, some of it is in the half-court. When I asked him today, what's been the difference, he goes, same drill, same everything, we're just emphasizing it more.
Tough shot from Harris, no good, but Bell corrals it for a fresh 35 for the Hogs. And they call a timeout to the Arkansas Razorbacks. 10:41 to go. Arkansas with 3 timeouts remaining. Same thing with Auburn. Bruce Pearl has 3 remaining as well. And it's no secret, Dino, that this past weekend, the basketball world and the world in general really lost one of the true legends, not only as a basketball coach, but a legendary man of character as well. Dean Smith passing away at the age of 83. And what you're looking at right now, the first three lines certainly are all basketball-related accomplishments. But if you talk to anybody who really knew Dean, the graduation rate and what he did even in the civil rights movement really surpassed anything that he accomplished in between the confines of a basketball court. And you coached in the ACC, so you knew Dean very well.
You knew his history and the tradition of Carolina basketball. Rich, I was a junior varsity basketball coach, 23 years old, in Wheeling, West Virginia. And Skip Prosser and I would make the trek for 10 hours on a Thursday after school to go watch Carolina practice. And what you learned from him was every minute was accounted for. From 3 to 3:10 they stretched. 3:10 to 3:15, 3-on-0 down, figure eights back. 3:15, 3:30, 4-on-4 shell drill. It was just amazing. And one of the things that a lot of coaches picked up from Dean Smith was he numbered his defenses. In other words, the one series was man-to-man. 14 defense was full court. 13 was three-quarter. 12, of course, was half court. So he numbered his defenses. He named his offenses. And I asked him one time, Coach, why do you do that? He goes, Dino, you can't have a 14 defense and a 14 play. And the other thing he did was he colored his press offenses. So red press breaker, white press breaker. But just a wonderful teacher. And excuse the redundancy, the things that he did, the four corners, which created the shot clock for us in our game today. So many things that he did, multiple defenses, multiple offenses. Coaches today just copy. He was, without a doubt, an innovator.
And certain things as simple as having the players signal when they're tired and need to come out. It's something that we talked about with Mike Anderson. He wants his players to do that for Arkansas. He got that from North Carolina and Dean Smith.
He did, and you mentioned it, Rich. If he were here today, he'd be most proud of his efforts to change social injustices. You know, his church was segregated, so he would take the African-American parishioners to restaurants in Chapel Hill that were on the sign whites only. And he was so proud of those things. And, you know, he gave a scholarship, of course, to Charlie Scott. Now, how about this? Charlie Scott's son, Shannon Scott, plays for Ohio State. It's Shannon Dean Scott, named after Coach Dean Smith. And as a coach at Carolina, he was a mentor and father figure to hundreds of players. But as a man, what he did to correct injustices to minorities impacted millions of people.
It's a legacy that will live on not only in the basketball world, but in all the lives of all the people who he touched. And it numbers in the hundreds, if not the thousands. Our condolences to the Smith family and certainly to the extended North Carolina basketball family. 10:08 to go here in Auburn. Tigers trail the Arkansas Razorbacks 81-66, 24th ranked Arkansas. Back in the AP top 25, looking for their third road win of the season. And if there's one knock on Arkansas basketball under the auspices of Mike Anderson the last 3+ years, it's been their inability to win on the road. I think they're silencing a lot of critics this year.
They really are. I'm telling you, after today, if they can wrap this up, I know there's 10 minutes to play. They go 3-2 on the road, and that's a great sign.
Another three from Antoine Bell, his fourth of the night. And he has 14. 10 3-pointers from the Razorbacks. Extra pass. Doesn't pay off.
But if you're Bruce Pearl, you're happy with the offense. The extra pass, the wide open jump shot. He can't make those shots for him, but a good offensive possession for Auburn.
Here's Bell. Not this time. Canada with the rebound. High floater off the glass. Bowers does what he does best. Grab the offensive trash and put it back.
And a positive sign for Auburn, I think, is the way Ross Miller is playing and the way Malcolm Canada has come in off the bench and given Auburn very good minutes.
10 points, 8 rebounds now for Bowers, who is sneaking up on another double-double. $16-point lead, largest of the game for Arkansas. Bowers loves that skip zip pass. And an offensive foul called on KT Harrell.
Well, Rich, the reason KT Harrell couldn't shoot it because the pass was too low. It did not lead him into his shot.
Take another look.
Yeah, we didn't see the initial pass, but I think that's a block. I think he's still moving left to right. You're nodding your head like, hey, I'm not buying that, coach, huh?
He lowered that shoulder. That's Gus Malzahn's looking on and going, maybe if he had some eligibility left.
I think Gus Malzahn could look at Mason and Bowers. Those guys could be tight ends.
That's right. Here's Portis.
There's the double team.
Bell, the rare 2-point field goal attempt. And Antoine Bell will go to the line and shoot. Well, after a tough loss to number 2 UConn last night, the top-ranked Lady Gamecocks will look to get back on track against the Commodores. Women's basketball, Vanderbilt at number 1 South Carolina, Sunday at noon on ESPNU, the home court of college hoops. That was the 4th foul on Malcolm Canada. Keep in mind, he's the backup point guard forced into extra playing time because Bruce Pearl's starter, Taj Shamsuddin, left this game with an apparent shoulder injury just minutes into the first half.
But Ross Miller and Canada have given him quality minutes off the bench, and that was a big concern for Bruce Pearl coming in. Very limited bench depth and very limited bench scoring.
Well, you look for complementary scorers on a championship caliber team, and when you first think of Arkansas, you always think of Portis and Qualls. They've done very well, 18 and 19 respectively, but how about number 5 Antoine Bell chipping in with 16 points of his own?
And here's the good thing about Arkansas, Rich. It could be any number of guys that gives a contribution like Bell did tonight. You're not just reliant like Auburn is on those big 3, Mason, Harrell, and Bowers.
Antoine Mason really struggled in this one. He has 1 3-pointer, and that is the only field goal of the game for one of the better scorers in this conference.
Well, there's a huge difference than playing in the MAAC up in the Northeast and playing in the SEC. That is foul, personal foul number 49 in the game combined for both teams.
Whistles are starting to come back out like they did in the first half. That's the 4th foul on Michael Qualls. TJ Lang will go to the line and shoot.
And Bruce Pearl, after the Ole Miss game, says you can't give up 86 points and expect to win. Well, you're looking at Arkansas right now with 8 minutes to go, sitting at 86.
They're pressing triple digits right now if things keep going the way they're going.
Replacing Michael Qualls.
Lang, short on that one. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. And Arkansas controls.
So many of the young guys, TJ Lang, Trayvon Reed, their bodies won't allow them to be good. They just need to get stronger, and it might happen over the summer in the weight room. Then they can contribute to SEC basketball.
Williams off the mark with that jumper. Bowers leaves it for Miller. Macy Ross Miller knocks down the 3.
And how about Bowers leading the break, making the right decision? That's the diversity of his offensive game.
Inside, Portis blocked by Bowers.
Now we got a new point guard, number 5 for Auburn.
Inside to Mason. Mason forced it up. And it has been a frustrating night for Antoine Mason.
One thing there's been a lot of in this game, a lot of emotion, a little heartbreak, and boys, guys getting after it on the floor as well.
Shelves across America are still filled with these old-fashioned bulbs that create more heat than light. Now, they may be good for some things, but they're terrible for your wallet. This Cree LED bulb is 84% more efficient than an incandescent, turning more of your money into light, not waste. Don't you love the smell of planned obsolescence in the morning?
The Cree LED bulb.
Thank you for being a sailor and my daddy. Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. Our world-class service earned USAA the top spot in a study of the most recommended large companies in America. If you're current or former military or their family, see if you're eligible to get an auto insurance quote.
GCU offers more than 160 innovative programs across 8 colleges, which now include cutting-edge next-generation programs in engineering, computer science, and information technology. Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
Man, I can't believe they sent us down here to work.
Me either. Hey, I wasn't too out of sync, was I?
Nah. And if you were, I bet nobody even noticed.
Brennan Fitzgerald back in studio while they play the final 7 minutes in Auburn. We're going to start things in the Mountain West Conference over on ESPN News. New Mexico taking on Colorado State in Fort Collins. The Rams 1 game behind first place in the Mountain West. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Fitz. Here, Bruce Pearl struggling to keep his team in this one. They trailed the 24th-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks 86-72 alongside Dino Gaudio. I'm Rich Hollenberg. And Dino, one thing that we could forecast right now with 7:11 to go in the second half, looks like Auburn is going to be threatening that century mark tonight, something they've done once before this season.
Yeah, Arkansas we're talking about as well. But the thing that I like about Arkansas, Rich, is they play both ends of the floor. They play incredibly hard. And like I said, they're moving up to the front row of the SEC with Kentucky obviously at the top of this league. But they're putting themselves in a position to get one of those byes to the quarterfinals, 2 first SEC tournament byes. And that's really critical moving forward.
20 points now for Bobby Portis. He's the game-high scorer. Arkansas scored 100 points earlier this season in the non-conference schedule against Northwestern State. They've scored 100 points 6 times in the 3+ seasons Mike Anderson's been their head coach.
I love the pace at which they play. I love how hard they play. And like I said, on offense, they screen hard, they cut hard, and they move the ball.
And Anton Beard has a chance at a 3-point play. That's an extra effort from the freshman. You know, when you start talking about establishing themselves and maybe separating themselves as the second-best team in the SEC behind undefeated 24-0 Kentucky, what's the one thing that jumps out at you when you think about Kentucky? Their length and their depth.
And
what
their
does Arkansas
athleticism.
have?
And their athleticism.
Arkansas has Qualls and Portis. They have length and they have depth. They play 10 guys every night. They get a lot of minutes from a lot of different people. And you pointed out here tonight, Dino, that it's not just the minutes. It's at any given time, someone different can step up and score in bunches.
They have multiple guys that could be that 3rd and 4th scorer. And like we were saying, Rich, the last 3 times this team played Kentucky, they beat them. Now, I think it's difficult because they're playing them only 1 time this year in Rupp on the 28th of February. And that's a tough place to play for anybody. But I really like Arkansas. I think this is a Sweet 16 basketball team.
Right now, Joe Lenardi has them projected as a 6th seed in the NCAA tournament. Keep in mind, Arkansas hasn't seen the NCAA tournament since 2008. So the people in Fayetteville have been breathlessly awaiting a team like this to come down the pipe.
I think it's coming. I absolutely think it's coming.
There's Harris, an easy 2 for Alandis Harris.
Now, Ross Miller's frustrated, but what he needs to do is he's in transition, caught with a mismatch. Front him, sit in his lap. If they throw it over your head, it's not your fault.
Now Canada takes it strong to the hole. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Let's take an updated look at your SEC standings. Kentucky got all they can handle on the road tonight in Baton Rouge against LSU, but they pull out the 2-point win, so they are now 24-0, 11-0 in conference. And right now, with 4:59 to go and your team up 93-72, you have to assume that you're going to etch number 8 in the win column for Arkansas.
You know it's a big game for Arkansas, Riz. Ole Miss came into Fayetteville and won that game. Now Arkansas has to go back to Oxford. And if they want to be in the upper echelon in this league, they need to get in there and find a way to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, it would be a revenge game at the Tad Pad for Arkansas. And when you talk about RPI, that's a factor that goes into the decision-making when the committee starts putting their heads together. Arkansas has the second best RPI in the SEC.
Like we talked about, two road wins over top 25 RPI teams, SMU and Georgia. And looks like they're going to get another road win tonight. They have another one at Missouri.
Here's Ross Miller on the leak out. Bowers try to keep it alive. Beard came away with it. Here's Portis on the other end. Makes it look so easy. 22 points for Bobby Portis.
Rich, one of the things that would help Auburn's defense is on the jump shot, on the lift of the shot, at least 2 guys need to get back. If there's a 2-on-1 situation right there when Portis finishes, but get back on defense, convert quicker.
Well, if you're wondering what was the high score of any SEC team in league play this year, it's 96 by Ole Miss. And they scored that against guess who? Arkansas. Next bucket, Arkansas will surpass that number. They lead at 95-76 with 3:45 to go, comfortably in front, looking for their 19th win on the year. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Cree LED Lighting.
Hi, I'm Brett Favre. Thinking back to all those years I played in the NFL, I was always perfectly groomed. But since I retired, I've kind of let myself grow. Now I'm thinking, it's time to get my groom back.
When it's time to get your groom back, get it back with MicroTouch Max for precise grooming around ears, nose, eyebrows, neck, and sideburns.
Hey, I'm Brett Favre. I got my groom back with MicroTouch. Now you can too.
Get MicroTouch Max at these fine stores.
Hi, Linda. Looks like you've got a prescription to fill. Most people have no idea that drug prices vary. The exact same drug that's $10 at this pharmacy is $150 at this one.
I had no idea.
It's crazy. But here's how to fix that. GoodRx finds prices and discount coupons on every prescription. Just input the drug name and instantly find savings at virtually every pharmacy in America. Best of all, it's free. By the way, GoodRx can save you money even if you have insurance. And it works for every member of your family, even pets.
Next. What can I do for you? Hi, here's my prescription, and I have a coupon from GoodRx. Nice price. Thanks.
Go to GoodRx.com and compare, print, and save for free. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. With or without insurance, find the lowest price at a pharmacy near you. Print your free coupon at GoodRx.com today.
Wednesday on ESPNU, the Wildcats look to avenge defeat when they face the high-scoring Mountaineers, Kansas State, and number 21, West Virginia. That's Wednesday at 7 on ESPNU, the home court of college hoops. Well, it's been Portis and Qualls once again for Arkansas. Michael Qualls getting himself out of a shooting slump in a big way.
Well, out of a shooting slump, and he looks so much healthier than he was just a few games ago. And the injured leg is probably at 80%, Rich. Boy, they said today he looked like 90. He looks like a good 100% to me. Good bounce, energy, elevation on his jump shot, and he's playing with, you know, when you have an injury, sometimes you're afraid to play harder, that you might re-injure the knee, but boy, he's playing with reckless abandon tonight.
Hit 3 3-pointers in the first half. Saddled with 4 fouls, so he's missed a good chunk of the second half, but as you can see, he's back on the floor with 3:45 to go. Casey Ross Miller's at the line. And Ross Miller has supplied 16 points tonight for Casey, for the Auburn Tigers, albeit in a losing effort thus far.
But he's a guy moving forward that Bruce Pearl can look to for energy, and now he might be inserted into the starting lineup contingent upon the injury to Sam Sedin.
Madden. Mike Anderson content to run his set offense.
And you know what I like, Rich? They're running a shot clock down with the time and score situation with 3 minutes to play.
And Madden fires one from long range.
And moving forward, when games are in hand, you have to be able to take the ball, pull it out, and run the shot clock down.
Casey Ross Miller answers with a 3 of his own. He's got 20 tonight. Rashad Madden with 11 means he's just 5 points away from 1,000 in his Razorbacks career. And that's not only a major accomplishment for an Arkansas Razorback, but an especially important one because he's from the state of Arkansas, Tina.
Which they have a lot of Arkansas natives on this team, Rich, 4 of which start. Great
nice
look.
Inside, Portis to Anton Beard. 7 points for Beard, and they have an even 100 tonight as they call timeout with 2:26 to go.
And a lot of times, when you run the clock down, Rich, do you have guys that could create with a short clock or make shots with a short clock? And Arkansas has multiple guys. We know Madden can. We know Qualls can create off the dribble. That's a big-time shot right there from behind the screen, elevating.
Well, here's a look at what we talked about moments ago. A big game at Ole Miss on Saturday, trying not only to avenge a loss, but to keep Ole Miss at bay. Remember, Ole Miss also 7-3. So if they win, it'll be a matchup of 2 8-3 teams on Saturday. That'll be seen on the SEC network. Then they face Missouri at Mississippi State, and maybe the surprise team of the SEC, Texas A&M.
If you counted this one tonight, Rich, they had the tougher schedule of those teams in second place. Now, I'm saying 5 road games, counting this one as one of those 5.
And under different circumstances, you look at the remaining schedule for Arkansas and say 5 games on the road out of their final 8. Well, that's probably 5 losses. So they're going to go 3-5 down the stretch. You don't say that anymore about this team.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not about this basketball team.
Anton Beard called for his 5th foul, and not only that, he's fouled out of the game, and it's going to be a technical on Arkansas.
I think Jim Burr gave Beard the technical for a mouth mistake, which it was his 4th foul, and I think the technical became his 5th foul. That was the 5th.
So KT Harrell will go to the line. He's been a bright spot tonight with 19 points, 4 3-pointers for the best 3-point shooter in the SEC. Making it even 20 for KT Harrell. Once again, Mike Anderson, you talk about Anton Beard, number 31, just a freshman. But Mike Anderson was really singing his praises earlier for not only his ability on the floor, but how mature he is for someone of his age.
And you know what? He's a great point guard for Mike Anderson in Arkansas. Why? He applies great pressure. He gets into the ball. And when you're defending, Rich, it all starts at the beginning with your point guard. And that kid right there, 31, really applies good pressure to your opponent's point guard.
Well, Bruce Pearl's going to empty his bench with 2:11 to go. Players with minimal playing time enter the game now. Canada to the bench. Bowers on the bench. KT Harrell done for the night with 20 points.
And this was Auburn's 3rd game in 6 days. So the coaching staff has to do whatever they can to keep these guys as fresh as they possibly can as they move down the stretch of the SEC.
In red, Manny Watkins with the ball. He's the son of associate head coach Melvin Watkins.
Rich, Manny Watkins was going to go to Missouri State, and the day that he was to announce it, at the last minute, I mean, he had a hat and everything, says, "No, I changed my mind. I'm going to go play for my dad and Coach Anderson at Arkansas."
Jabril Durham with 2 on the shot clock, no good. Ball's tipped around, and Patrick Kime comes away with it. A first-year walk-on for Bruce Pearl. Ross Miller. And Madden comes away with it.
Boy, these minutes would scare me when we had a lead, and I see 24 out there for Michael Qualls. I'd get him out of there, especially coming off that tender knee that he had. There he goes. Mike Anderson clearing his bench now.
Rashad Madden, 5 points away from 1,000, will go to the line. Now he's 4 points away, one of the better free throw shooters in this conference. Came in 89% from the line. That's his first free throw attempt of the night. Michael Quall's night is done. 19 points on 6 for 9 shooting from the field. Snap it out of that slump in a big way, serving notice to the rest of the SEC. One for 2 for the normally reliable Rashad Madden from the free throw line. 101-84, 116 to go.
Madden always plays well against these guys. 24 last year in this game with Auburn.
Here's Lang for 3. And 1 minute to go. Arkansas will improve to 19-5 on the season. More importantly, 8-3 in the SEC, and they'll take over sole possession of second place, 3 games behind the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats.
Like we said, Rich, those teams in fighting for those 2, 3, and 4 spots, trying to get to the quarterfinals, those 2 byes in the SEC tournament.
And you have to imagine each win, especially on the road for Mike Anderson's club, has to be just a huge confidence builder as you head into the final stretch of the SEC season. 5 on the shot clock. Kingsley had to force it up, and it's a shot clock violation. So there's 28.7 seconds to go. Auburn will drop to 11-13 on the year, 3-8 in SEC play. And there's one thing in a moment of honesty that Bruce Pearl told us earlier today is he really just wants to get over that 500 hump. He thinks that will make them at least eligible for some postseason tournament.
And to get KT Harrell in a tournament for the first time in his tenure at Auburn.
Final seconds tick down. Time had it taken away, and that'll all but do it from Auburn. The Arkansas Razorbacks put up 101 points on the road. They defeat Auburn 101-87 to get their 19th win of the year. Coming up next, New Mexico takes on Colorado State. So long from Auburn.